What up, y'all? Illegit here. Um, for tabling some 200 PLO. These are the normal stakes I play for cash games PLO. And they're pretty much all I play. I play 200 PLO and 100 PLO, and that's about it. Occasionally, if like sometimes I'll catch a fish at like 200 PLO and find him moving up to like 400 PLO, and then I might play 400, but that's about it. And in the past, I've followed fish higher up the map, but that's too much variance and swings that I don't like dealing with. Going higher than that. um, so, all right. We'll auto post blinds here. On this table, I know Poon Jockey and Piteous. Oh wow, Ace Ace King King, no suits right off the bat. No suits. This hand looks really strong, but it's not as without any suits. It's not as strong as it looks. Suits are pretty important in PLO. Yeah, if you have at least one suit to go with this, then it's really strong. I'm still going to 3-bet this because, and I have Stacy. I think is a reg too, or at least plays a decent amount. So basically against regs, they're not only going to give you Ace Ace King King. Against a lot of players, if you haven't been 3-betting a lot and you have aces, sometimes you don't want to 3-bet them because, especially ones that aren't very strong. These are fairly strong even without a suit because you flop top set like 20% of the time or something or more. And also a lot of flops are really good, like those 10 deuce deuce, 9 3 3 4 5 5, etc. Where you very often almost always have the best hand. But what I was saying is, 3-betting aces in this game is when you're playing 100 big blinds deep is not automatic. You shouldn't always 3-bet anytime you have ace ace XX because a lot of aces don't play that well, especially out of position. So a lot of times when you're in the blinds and someone raises, you'll just be calling with lots of different types of aces. Not solely set mining, but just looking to keep the pot small out of position. Yeah. So, but with those particular aces, it's fine to 3-bet even without any suits. With the double paired aces, and that's what we did. And then C-bet most flops, and on a flop like that, your hand is very often good. But still, if I had gotten raised on that flop when it comes 10 deuce deuce, it's never like a worse hand trying to get value. We got aces here, we'll open. Like that is, it's never like queen queen X raising. They might flat with queen queen XX or something. So it's either a bluff or a deuce. And if you don't have any real like dynamic with the player setup where you know they bluff you a lot on boards like that, then you probably should just fold because they probably have a deuce. Here we're just gonna give up. This is not a very good board. We have a jack blocker and we have a gut shot, but 4 ways, I'm just going to give up here. This is a really bad flop for us. See what happens here. If donkey checks, I might consider betting. I have the ace of spades, which means I can sometimes bluff spade rivers also if someone plats me. But with him donking, I'm just going to fold with these 2 stacks behind me. Fold this, and of course we would have had the ace of spades, but I mean, it looked like at least one player has a flush. I would have had the nut flush blocker, so I might have been able to pull a big bluff, but probably not. And I would have made a straight, obviously. Yeah, looks like that guy has a queen high flush almost always. With that bet sizing. If he was going to bluff, you'd think he would just shove. Okay, on this table, like I said, these 2 are regs. Winter Mag is a reg, but he's like a short stacking reg, not too good. Spacey I have a couple notes on, but I haven't seen him around very much lately or calling. I'm going to raise this even out of position. They're not great kings, but we have a blocker against this guy having aces, we have a suit, and we have, and we flop 2 pairs, so we're just going to C-bet. It's a pretty drawy board, and I wouldn't expect to get raised. Okay. We're going to go ahead and barrel this. I think the vast majority of his range is draws, so we want to charge him. If he has like aces and queens or something, that's just bad luck. and he gave up. And then over on this table, actually only two I recognize are X-Rated and Poon Jockey. People a lot of times auto-call with this hand, and I probably will against the button raise here. We have two suits, but they're both only 10 high, so when you flop like a club draw or a diamond draw, or even when you flop a diamond flush, like I just did, it doesn't have a ton of value because you're basically, if you build a really big pot, it's usually against a better flush. So here we're just going to check call down for the most part. If he ends up 3-barreling, okay, well this diamond just makes it that much less likely that he has diamonds in his hand, so we're just going to check and give him a chance to bluff. We're not folding. And then that gives him a full house, so we might have value bet on a blank river, but on this one we're just going to check. If he does bet, it'll be an interesting spot because he'll put us on mostly what we have, a medium flush, and I wouldn't think he would try to bluff us off it very often. So it might be a close decision if he bets here. Okay, he checked. So we gave him a chance to bluff, he didn't. Yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't expect him to bluff too much in that spot. This hand, without any suits, is pretty terrible. We are on the button, so I'm tempted to raise it, but I'm just going to fold it. Again, queen, out of position, no suits, pretty terrible, but let's see what happens in front of us. If it goes raise, call, then I can call and set mine, but if it's just out of position against what's probably a competent player at least, I'm probably just going to fold to a single raise here, out of position. Okay, Winter Mag, kind of a nit from what I remember, since he's short stacking, so we're just going to raise him. If he 3-bets us, we're just going to fold out of position. Okay, this misses a lot of its flatting range, but it hits some of it, but you have to pretty much c-bet this flop most of the time. We do have a gut shot. Not that the 5 is the best card. It's not really a great card. Just going to check. Okay, this we can open. We got one suit, we got a pair, we got some connectedness, and here I'm just going to fold. Okay, let's see. Alright, flop another medium flush. I'm going to bet here. Usually I try to keep the pot small, but if I bet and get raised here, it's almost always by a bigger flush, so that's of no consequence. And if I get called, then I can just shut it down on the turn and river and reevaluate. But if you always check your medium flushes there, it kind of becomes a tell. Hold that there. I'll open these 9s on the button. They're not great, but we got decently like regular players in the blind, so they'll be folding enough, and it plays well enough post flop that you can open it. So flop diamond flushes. That's how you win. Medium diamond flushes. Just kidding. In either case, with those diamond flushes, if the pot had gotten really big, we very likely wouldn't have the best hand, which is something you have to realize about Omaha, at least at these stakes. That flushes are not the nuts, not anything like in Hold'em, where anytime you flop a flush where you have 2 diamonds in your hand and 3 on the board, you're pretty much never folding, assuming another diamond doesn't come. So this is a terrible hand. Obviously, if it folded, if it raised, we would fold this out of position. Obviously folding hand. Wow. I'm actually 4-tabling, so if anything happens on one of these lower tables, I might bring it up so that you guys can see what's going on. It's interesting. And yeah, we'll be opening this. We don't like that's the only suit we have is a 10. So if we got 3-bet by one of these people in position, we would fold this kind of hand. If it was the same hand with the ace suited, we like it a lot better. Okay, we have an ace hand over here.